Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Drusilla Shay, if you don't know already. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about 5 ways that we naturalistas damage our hair. And I'm going to be countering it with 5 things that we need to be doing to have better and healthy natural hair. Everything that I mentioned here is out of experience. However, I know that I'm not the only one doing this. There are certain things that we just need to stop doing and certain things that we need to start doing in order to make sure that we are keeping this hair nice and healthy. So let's get into it. All right, so number one of the things that we are doing all the time that is causing damage to our natural hair is constantly doing tight hairstyles. For some of us, we are always getting our hair done back to back to back, and we're, getting cornrows and we're getting braids and we're getting tight ponytails. It is not doing our hair any good. These tight hairstyles cause a lot of tension. It causes a lot of breakage. And at the end of the day, we all know that we trying to keep our edges, and our edges don't flourish when we are always doing tight hairstyles. And so this is something I can personally relate to. One of the reasons why my hair is suffering, because sometimes I get in the habit of not take care of my hair, then my hair becomes all puffy and messy, and oop, I gotta go somewhere. Let me just throw it into a puff. Let me throw it into a low bun. Let me throw it into a ponytail, slick it down a little bit. But just know that these tight hairstyles all the time are not doing us good. If you do it once in a while, that's different. But constantly doing it back to back to back is definitely too much tension for your hair. And especially if you have fine hair like myself, when you have fine hair, it's definitely more on the fragile side, it's more sensitive. You have to take more precaution when you're doing certain styles. One of the things that we need to start doing is, if we know we're gonna do a tight hairstyle, let's make it so that we give our hair a break, right? We all want a little break sometimes. Our hair is no different. Let's make sure that we incorporate looser styles in between our tight styles, just to allow our hair to be free and to flow and to breathe. One of those, styles that you can do is like a twist out, a braid out, a wash and go. Something that is not going to pull your hair too much. If you're into wigs, if you're into half wigs, you can always do like a loose twist, flat twist on your hair, or do just like plaits and then throw the wig on, just to give your hair some breathing room so that you're not always constantly doing tight style. So that's number 1. Number 2, speaking of letting our hair breathe, one of the things we don't do is let our edges breathe. Let's talk, sis. The edge game has gotten serious over the years. You can do different little twisties and circles and twirlies and put a little gems on your edges. Okay, it's gone into a whole art. I'm definitely not hating on it, but you also have to remember that it should not be like an everyday thing. It should not be something that we're doing all the time, because that ends up putting a lot of tension in our edges. And sometimes we don't take the time out to even care for our edges, right? Like when we're doing our wash day routine, like making sure we're putting certain oils on there, massaging our edges. One of the things that we need to stop doing is constantly doing our edges up all the time. I'm not saying don't brush your edges, but what I'm saying is like constantly doing the, the extra styles and like brushing it down and like making it twist and turn. You know what I'm saying? Doing all of that puts a lot of extra pressure. Obviously, you're brushing your hair down way more. I'm gonna just tell you from experience. I had a crochet style last year, and I'm like, oh yeah, I have crochet. I don't have to manipulate it much so my hair gets to rest. However, I wasn't letting my edges rest, child. Every opportunity I got, because the crochet, covered up my actual hair frizz, I was just really left with like the little hairs coming out on the edges. So I was really doing up my edges, but it got to a point where it was just all the time. And guess what? My edges were all short. Okay, like I took it out, there was so much hair coming out. I did not realize that I was causing this much damage to my edges because I would not let it breathe. So what I would recommend is giving your edges a break sometimes. You don't always have to slick it down. Yes, sometimes you can brush it down if you're gonna go out and you wanna look more presentable, but you know, save the constant brushing and twirling for like, you know, more dressy occasions. If you're like going out to dinner, you know, if you're going out to brunch or something like that, I would definitely recommend, as I mentioned before, especially if you're someone who touches your edges a lot, don't neglect it. You also have to take care of it a lot. When it comes to especially wash days, make sure you give your edge a little extra TLC, okay? When it's damp, you know, put them oils in there, them hair strengthening oils. You know, I like the ones that give a little peppermint feel, okay, that little tingle. And I massage it. I take my time, I massage because that also encourages hair growth, it stimulates the scalp, and sometimes you just gotta let it be. That's my TED Talk for edges. This one is something that I shot myself in the foot with, and I am going through a damage control right now as we speak. We need to avoid doing styles that require a lot of water in our hair continuously, and I'll tell you why. If you have, you know, a hair type like me, type 4, coily hair, fine hair, and you like a nice buff down, slick down style, it's gonna require some water most likely. If your hair is curly and it's not blow dried, I like to put a lot of water in my hair. It makes it more manageable, and then I put product, and then I'll put it into like a low bun, a high bun. Here's the problem with that: I go through my whole day, I'm looking fly. People are like, "Oh, your hair's so sleek, how you get it like that?" Then I come home, it's been all day, it's been hours. Take off my little ponytail, undo my hair, let it loose. The inside is still wet. And that's a problem because it's essentially the equivalent of sleeping with your conditioner in. I'm not giving my hair enough time to even dry. And when you do this continuously, which I was doing continuously, it led to moisture overload. I'm actually gonna do the Apogee strengthening treatment on my hair because it's that deep. Something that would help is, again, spacing out my styles so that I'm not always having to put so much water and leave-in conditioner in my hair, and my hair is not, you know, having any time to dry and any space to dry because it's always slicked down. Okay, so number 4, there's a whole talk about protective styles not necessarily really protecting your hair. We can have a whole discussion on that if y'all really want to. Let me know down in the comments. But I believe that if you do it right and if you take very good care of your hair during the process, then protective styles can really help you. It can really benefit you, and it can give you a nice little break from having to do your hair every single day. When it comes to having our hair out and us, you know, having like a really busy time in life, it would definitely help to get a protective style. For example, you realize a lot of black girls, before they go on their vacations, they do braids because ain't nobody trying to sit there in their nice little hotel room on an island combing through some knots. Saying all that to say that sometimes we cause damage to our hair because we know that we don't got time to be taking care of our hair every day. So you wouldn't benefit from having your hair loose all the time. Once upon a time, I used to have my hair loose all the time, but I had a lot of time on my hands. I could have 6-hour wash days. This time in my life, not so much. Sometimes we create damage to our hair by leaving it out, knowing that we're not going to take care of it, knowing we don't got time to take care of it, knowing we don't got energy to take care of it. So in those times, you want to just put your hair in a protective style. If you're tired of doing your hair every day, that's a sign. Get you a protective style. If you know that you're going to be going on vacation and you don't want to take care of your hair, get you a protective style. If you don't, you're gonna find yourself most likely getting lazy with your hair, not really wanting to take care of it, not wanting to spend the time. And trust me, I know natural hair takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort and energy. Get your protective style once in a while. Okay, so number 5, something that we are doing that's causing damage to our hair is not being proactive. You gotta look at your schedule and see how busy is life. When life is busy, sometimes it can show in your hair. I've shown up to many Zoom calls at this point and the hair's been rough. It's snitching on me. If you know you're gonna have a very extremely busy week at work, for example, and you're not gonna come home after a long day and wash your hair, schedule your wash day for the weekend before. There's certain things that we have to put in place, just like maybe you would meal prep, just like you would prepare for certain things. Hey, let me get gas in my car before the start of the week. Just certain things to make sure that you're set up for the week. You wanna set your hair up for the week. If it's in a state where you know that you're not gonna be able to do it every day or keep up with it, or it's gonna make you late for leaving the house, all this stuff. Be proactive, because guess what? When we don't have time to take care of our hair suffers. So just like you schedule in your meals, some of us, you gotta do the same for your hair. I literally used to have a hair calendar and I would stick to it. So let's just do our hair a favor by making sure that we're being proactive with our hair care and scheduling it in if we need to. All right, peeps, so that is it for this video. I hope that you found it helpful. If there are any things in this video that you have really connected to, you can share it. If you have any tips of your own, please go ahead and let us know in the comments so we can learn from each other. And while you're there, okay, you got me so conveniently close to the subscribe button that you might as well just go ahead and press it. Thank you in advance. God bless you, and I'll catch y'all in my next video next Sunday. Deuces.